JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, man succumbs after being shot at party in Manchester. One of two men who was shot during a drive-by attack at the entrance of a party on Wood Avenue in Mandeville on Saturday has succumbed at hospital. Police named the deceased as 28-year-old Romario Allen, otherwise called Ruru, a resident of Dunstan District in Manchester. A police report said about 2:15 a.m. the men, who were reportedly patrons at a nightclub and lounge, were shot by a gunman traveling in a motor car. Statistics on the police show that up to September 24, Manchester recorded 43 murders since the start of the year, when compared to 19 for the corresponding period last year. Montego Bay businessman shot and killed. Detectives from the Criminal Investigations Branch, CIB in St. James, are probing the suspected gunslaying of a prominent Montego Bay businessman at his establishment in the city on Friday morning. The deceased has been identified as 59-year-old Donovan Fagan of Westgate Hills, Montego Bay, St. James. Reports are that about 7:40 a.m., Fagan was at his business place on Sun Valley Road in Montego Bay when employees heard explosions sounding like gunshots and alerted the police. On their arrival, the cops discovered Fagan in a kneeling position in his office in a pool of blood with what appeared to be a gunshot wound to the head. Fagan was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. No motive has yet been established for the killing. Female teen charged for illegal gun and ammunition. 19-year-old Chrissy Lee Thompson, a cashier of Plantation Heights, St. James, has been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition following an incident in her community on Saturday, October 1. Reports from the Montego Bay Police are that about 8:35 p.m., a joint police-military team carried out an operation at an unpermitted event in the community. The team reportedly saw Thompson with a knapsack on her back, acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. She was accosted and the knapsack was searched. A 9mm pistol with a magazine affixed containing 10 9mm cartridges was found inside the bag. She was arrested and subsequently charged. Her court date is being finalized. Man in custody after gun and ammunition seized in Gregory Park. One man was arrested on suspicion of breaches of the Firearms Act following the seizure of a handgun and the several rounds of ammunition on Godley Avenue in Gregory Park, St. Catherine on Saturday, October 1. Reports from the Portmore Police are that about 9:50 p.m., lawmen were conducting an operation in the area when they observed a man standing on the roadway. The man was accosted and searched, and the Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 14 9mm rounds was taken from him. His identity has been withheld. The St. Catherine South Police said they have been reaping much success since the launch of Operation Relentless 2, and the division's leadership has pledged to continue working to keep residents safe. British national arrested following $400,000 cocaine seizure at Sangster International Airport. Members of the Narcotics Division are now investigating a case in which approximately 8.5 kilograms of cocaine with an estimated street value of $400,000 was seized at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James on Saturday, October 1. Reports are that about 3:20 p.m., a British national was checking into board a flight to Manchester, England, when his luggage was searched. The drug was found concealed in false compartments of two of his bags. The passenger was arrested on reasonable suspicion of breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act. His identity has been withheld at this time. Manchester man wanted over illegal gun arrested. A Manchester man who was reportedly wanted for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition was held on Saturday, the police are reporting. The police say the man, who is of a New Hall address, was arrested following a joint police-military operation along the Mandeville Main Road. It was understood that the man, who was traveling in a BMW motor car, was identified by a tattoo of his name on his body. The police say charges are expected to be laid against the man soon. Tour bus operator dies in Ocho Rios crash. Investigators from the St. Anne Traffic Department are probing the circumstances surrounding the collision that claimed the life of an elderly tour bus operator in Ocho Rios in the parish on Thursday. The deceased has been identified as 66-year-old Randall Stewart of Long Pond Housing Scheme, Clarkstown, Trelawney. Reports from the Ocho Rios police are that about 12:30 p.m., Stewart was driving a Toyota Hiace minibus along Dorchester Drive in Ocho Rios heading towards St. Bay, when he reportedly lost control of the vehicle, which crashed into an embankment. He sustained multiple injuries and was taken to hospital, where he died while being treated. Kingston Technical student trained in first aid laments not being able to save schoolmate's life. Khadijah Dixon was inconsolable, not only because so far schoolmates had engaged in a bloody fight at Kingston Technical High on Thursday afternoon, but also due to the fact that, despite the first aid training she received earlier this year, she was not able to save the life of one of the combatants. Dixon was also distraught that as grade 11 student Michonne Campbell lay on the ground after being stabbed by a classmate in the brawl. Some students, instead of trying to help Campbell, used their phones to capture video recordings of the tragedy. "I wasn't at the scene when she got stabbed. I just saw the crowd and tried to help, but I couldn't help her. It hurt me so I couldn't save her. I was the only one trying to help. Everybody else was just screaming or videoing," a tearful Dixon said. Dixon explained that she had been interacting with a schoolmate when the incident occurred after school was dismissed. "I heard a lot of screaming and shouting. I normally stay at one side of the schoolyard whenever a fight or anything like that is going on. But at that moment I ran into the crowd and I saw her walk with blood coming from her neck," Dixon said. "So I said, so nobody now go help? So me I try to part the crowd now. She walked off and the person was holding on to her was just screaming and shouting her name. She fell and everybody eased back, and that gave me a better chance to get to her," she added. At that time, Dixon said she went on her knees, threw her bag to the ground and started rendering first aid. "I tried to see where she was bleeding from because a lot of blood was on her shirt. Me put my hand there and me see the damage. Same time I said to myself, Jesus Christ, we are going to lose her. But I still trusted God. Everybody around me did just a scream and a call out her name and I make a whole heap of noise. The football coach was there. He panicked and kept asking what was wrong. He had a baby in his hand and I grabbed it because I realized that my shirt couldn't help because it was so thin, so it would have soaked up the blood," Dixon said. The 17-year-old fifth form student said she used the bib to press on the wound to Campbell's neck, but the injured girl started to gasp and her body became rigid. "Brother said me can't help her no more," Dixon said, in between sobs. She said the dean at the school decided to rush Campbell to Kingston Public Hospital, KPH, about a 10-minute drive away. "I was the only person in the back of the car with her. I realized she had a pulse and was getting lower, so she was dying. So I was talking to her, touching her to keep her awake. Although I knew I couldn't save her, I was still trying until when I looked at her in my arms, she took her last breath," Dixon said. "We didn't reach KPH as yet, but I couldn't tell them she's dead. I was just saying to them, hurry, hurry and drive up, we are going to lose her." The dean was trying to clear the way to reach. When I reached the KPH and I looked at her, I know she was already dead. The two persons at KPH and I took her out of the car. We practically knew she was dead, but they said they were going to still carry her to the hospital," said Dixon, who revealed that she learned first aid at St. Patrick Rangers, a non-government organization that builds the capacities of youth in vulnerable communities with disaster risk management skills. On learning of Dixon's effort, the organization lauded her. St. Patrick Rangers would like to commend first responder Ranger K. Dixon for rendering first aid assistance, although the victim succumbed to her injuries. "Our prayers and condolences go to her family and friends," the organization said in a Facebook post. In the meantime, Dixon is advocating that first response training be taught in high schools. "I did first aid. I know what to do and how to react. I think that they should teach it in the schools from fourth form, so children will know to respond in times of trouble. I don't want that to happen," she said. Lives saved by the rain. Residents of Maiden Lane in central Kingston, who would regularly spend leisure time playing dominoes and doing other activities on the sidewalk in front of the premises at number 49, are lucky to be alive. A very old, derelict building, made of wood, bricks and concrete, came crashing down onto the sidewalk, and the residents believe that had it not been raining Thursday evening, lives would have been lost and people left with serious injuries. It also tore down power and internet lines. Verona Brown, who lives at a different address but is always at number 49, said it must have been God that was on their side. "We play dominoes here say every evening, but God send the rain. If it wasn't for the rain, a dead body then come and observe. We use the fridge as a seat and the rubber lick the fridge off of the sidewalk. Because of the rain, we did play dominoes inside that bar. But one man we did play the box, said the smoking not affect him in the bar. The rain eased up now, so we come out and put down the domino table outside. The owner for the bar, for her husband tell her say, because of the 3-day rain we fall, we mustn't trust her so. The wall get heavy and could tear down any time. As we put on the table near the gate right there so, the place start tear down and rapid budud up. We think a gunshot, everybody start run. My friend have a grandniece, we not stay in the yard none at all. I must say true the granny did there, she couldn't come out. Me would I hear said that like a baby dead. We give God thanks and God is good all the time. God say no so if we dead. At Thursday rain save we. Hurricane Ian give us rain. Saturday, Sunday and Monday then give us a break. It come back Thursday evening, she said, adding that they wish to see the authorities build proper houses at the location so the residents can benefit. Donna, who lives at the back of the premises, shared that people living in the yard would have to walk through the derelict building to access the street. She was happy that no one was hurt, but was perturbed that the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, was to demolish the old structure at the front of the premises over a year ago, but failed to do so. Last year, September, KSAMC come slap a paper upon the building, said them a go lick it down. Eventually, it just dropped down. Now more than stay down out here, so, but the rain don't make nobody no out here. This could have hurt somebody. A long time we have begged them for help, and because of the concrete and it decayed, so water just finish it. Anyway, it happen at dry time, a whole heap of people then get hurt. When out here cold and you dip on your internet, more while we out here lay down on the fridge and them something there. Even after this happen, them not come do nothing about it. It looked like it wasn't really on the agenda. Not even the rubble them come help clean up. People's National Party caretaker for Kingston Central, Imani Duncan Price, was also not pleased that up to Saturday evening, no one was sent to clear the rubble. The thing just came down with a horrific thud blocking the street. The KSAMC acknowledged that the building was dangerous. Why didn't they just come back and complete the job? I give thanks nobody was hurt. I'm thankful the usual people were not on the sidewalk at the time of the incident. The street needs to be cleaned, and we're calling the KSAMC to just complete the job that they saw as important. The building has come down now, so clear the significant debris quickly for the people and demolish the other two buildings to the left with a similar problem, Duncan Price said. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.